Geoff Woolhouse got the start for the Sheffield Steelers on Saturday. Hugely important game against the Hull Stingrays. DeCaro and Huttle were rested. No rest for Steeler Dan though. He was to get the fans going. The scoreless first period into the second session, and with Dooley off for tripping, the Steelers went on the power play. Neil Clark, of course, back in the lineup, and he was to be influential on both the Steelers' goals, setting up Ramsey there for the first one. A nice finish after Clark had drove the net well. That was Clark's 100th Elite League point. Great assist for Clark. Drives the net, causes all kinds of havoc. Has a second bite, and that gives the opportunity for Mike Ramsey. He made it 1-0. Shortly afterwards, the Sheffield Steelers were to go 2-0 up. It's that Clark line again, with Finnerty on it. The shot comes in, rebound, there's Nick Duff, and he gets his first Sheffield Steelers goal. Happy as well, wasn't he? Good to see some emotion, and Nick Duff, the scorer. Esther's happy. You'll see it was a nice finish as well. Boucher got across after giving up the rebound. There's only one place to put it, and Duff finds it. 2-0 the Sheffield Steelers led. A penalty against Phillips for interference at 29-21. Power play for the Hull Stingrays, and out of nothing, Dooley with a super finish goes top shelf. How happy does he look? And all of a sudden the Stingrays were back into this one. They'd have late power plays as well. 5-on-3s. Woolhouse was to stand tall though, and the Sheffield Steelers were to run out victors. Final score, Sheffield Steelers 2, Hull Stingrays 1. What do you think of that, Coach?
Coach, sum that weekend up for us, if you would.
Well, it was a tale of two games. I think, I thought on Friday against Belfast we played well, had every chance to win that game. It goes into penalties, and it's a bit of a crapshoot then. But like I said, we haven't lost in overtime or penalties yet, so we were pretty confident going in. And obviously, guys were pretty down after the game after we lost. But reality is, once we went into overtime, it didn't matter. Once they gained a point, we still had to win 2 games in Belfast and win, all the way there and all the way out. So, I kind of thought that after it went into overtime, given that point, even if we got the 2, we still need to get 2 wins up there. So, didn't change a whole lot at that point. And then, you roll in tonight, and it's 2 different games, 2 different teams, 2 different atmospheres. I mean, we didn't play good today. I kind of expected a bit of a hangover from last night. The game was so intense, and there's so much on the line.
Like an emotional drain that coming into the second game.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's hard if you're not in sport to understand that. You can tell before the game, guys were still thinking about last night, and it's tough to say move on when you go through something like that. I mean, it was probably the best game this year. I think for the Elite League, and it was end to end, and to come that close and not get the second point was painful. But at the end of the day, there's not enough time to dwell on anything. We got the 2 points. We have to move on. We'll be a better team on Thursday. We know that. A few days here to clear our head and get back to work on Monday and kind of start fresh again. And we're not out of it yet, and that's the biggest thing we said. We're not out of it yet. We can still control our destiny here. The mountain's a bit steeper, but like I said, we still got a chance.
A couple of positives. Duff gets his first Steelers goal, and another outstanding performance from Geoff Woolhouse.
Yeah, Wooly.
Your new starting goal.
Yeah, yeah. I think the Carroll's getting a little worried now. No, I mean, what do you say? We say it all the time. I think, thank God we signed him for another year. I don't know if we've announced that, but we did now. So, you know what I mean? Because we got a gem there, and he's ready to be a starter in this league. And I think he deserves to play. He deserves to get the games, and for us to be able to go to him and ice an extra import, I think is so crucial and going forward. And people think it's risky, but I think he's proven everybody wrong, and probably including a lot of teammates. But we know what he brings. We were with him every day. He works so hard in practice. He's the last guy off the ice, and he takes 1,000 shots. And he's got the right mentality. And I think everybody's happy for him especially tonight when he bails us out like he did. And at the end of the day, he did. He bailed us out. We would have lost that game if it wasn't for Woolhouse. So it's a good feeling, and you're a bit gutted, but we don't have enough time to dwell on it. We got to move on, and like I said, we'll be a better hockey team on Thursday.
Just finally, how good is it to have Rod Sarich back as well, and the options that he gives you?
Yeah, just having Roddy back there, you forget how good he is and how well he moves the puck, and just how much he can control the D zone. it's a breath of fresh air there. I tell you what, having him back, and he's getting better and better. He's not there yet. We know that and we can see that, but he needs the games. You can skate all you want, you can practice all you want, but unless you play games, you're not going to get that match fitness. You're not going to get that game mentality that you can't get from practice. You can't get off the ice. You gotta get stuck in and play. And so I think Roddy will get better and better as the weeks go on here. And what I mean. So we're excited for that. We're throwing him right in the mix now. He's going to play a ton. He's held up well through the weekend. No setbacks. He's feeling good. So that's a positive. That was a positive because we weren't sure how he'd feel and if we'd be taking one step forward to go 2 steps back. So he finished a lot of hits. I think people saw he was running guys, and I think he was definitely testing it out, and he feels good. So that's a positive.
Geoff, another outstanding performance. That was probably the toughest of the game so far this year.
Yeah, probably more than likely. I feel, to be honest, it wasn't one of our greatest games, but say that Boucher for them was outstanding. It was made some stones head for him, and hockey's like that. We had such a difficult game last night that coming on the back of that, maybe it was a little bit hard for the boys to get up for, but we did enough to win, and that's what matters now. When
did you get the call off the coach?
Well, he said it could have happened maybe last night, but he texted me this morning to let me know that I was started.
Okay, talk us through that third period, because once they scored that power play goal when Jono went off, they came at us hard and they had the 5-on-3 power play, and you faced a lot of rubber in that last 10 minutes.
Yeah, they have a quite decent power play because they get put low, they work it low, they drive the net, they create chances off the power play to Hull, and we just had to ride out the storm and just stick with it.
The coach has just said some very complimentary things about you and confirmed that you were re-signing for another year. You'd have probably got another 50 quid if you'd have hung out till the end of the season. But it's a good little setup here, and having a coach that has confidence in you must be a positive.
Yeah, definitely. It's great being part of a team like that, and having your future settled before the end of the season is a nice thing. I've had that before, and also having a coach that shows a lot of faith in you. All you can do is try and repay him.
John DeCaro also said some pretty good things as well, and it's a good relationship the two of you seem to have.
Yeah, we have a great relationship. He's a top bloke. He was outstanding again for us last night in such an important game. Yeah, he's a great guy.
But having a goalie that can go in there and give the option of the 10 out skating inputs, it gives the coach a lot of flexibility, and that means you're going to see probably a lot more ice.
Well, yeah, it gives us a tactical advantage over maybe some of the other teams that possibly can't do the same, be in the same position. So yeah, it gives Fitter something else to think about for certain games, and it's great for myself.
Roddy, just a progress report, if you like. Good to see you standing up after 2 games. What's the body feel like right now?
Pretty tired, pretty exhausted. It was a tough game last night, pretty high intensity, and then obviously tonight was a lot of hard work. Maybe some of it we made for ourselves, I think. But yeah, pretty tired. I forgot how hard this sport is.
The whole plan of attack was to gently feed you into that Belfast game, but I understand you pretty much went every other shift.
Yeah, I felt all right, and after the first couple of shifts, kind of figured I was up to speed, so away we went. And it's the kind of game, especially against a team like Belfast, you really need everyone to play, so I didn't want to sit there and watch everyone else do all the work.
Was it a bit like the first game of the season, being out for so long, just trying to get your breath and getting the fitness up to?
Yeah, it was first couple of shifts was just, like I say, just getting used to the pace again, because as much as you do in training, it's not a game against the top team in the league sort of thing. So, but yeah, I think adjusted quickly enough. I had a few pepperoni pizzas through the middle there, I didn't had a few mistakes, but I guess that's expected. But overall, we played well, I think. So. What
about tonight? We made hard work of that, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. Some bad decisions and some poor execution of passes and that, but in the end, Geoff Woolhouse came up big, had a big game for us, and Duff got his first goals, the one we needed, so it all's well that ends well, I guess, but there's going to be some work to do in training.
You've been here for a number of years, you've seen a few backup goalies. This Geoff Woolhouse, though, he's probably the best we've had, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of confidence too. He's had some good games when he's gotten in there, and to his credit, he works as hard, probably harder than anyone in training, so I think he's deserving the success that he has when he's out there. So.